Good morning. Our scripture today is 1 Samuel 27. Discouragement and disbelief gripped David's heart in this passage of scripture. He allowed the discouragement that was in his heart to take him down an unnecessary path. He left Israel, his home, to live among the idol worshippers, the Philistines. He left the land of promise. He left the people of God and lived with those that had been the enemy. This act affected not just himself, but his family, the 600 men that were following him, and their families. When did David quit relying on the Lord? Why couldn't he remember all of the Lord's blessings in his life and the battles that were won? Let's learn from David. When we are discouraged, we think and we believe things that aren't true. Although we may never speak the words out loud, the things we say to ourselves in our heart has the power to change the way we think, how we behave, and these thoughts affect the path we take in life. When we step away from God, we aren't safe. We make ourselves more vulnerable to the enemy. It is important to bring back to your mind the times that God has delivered you, the blessings He has provided to you. Remember, you can rely on Him. Even when you are discouraged, He will lift you up. And now, 1 Samuel 27. And David said in his heart, I shall not perish one day by the hand of Saul. There is nothing better for me than that I should speedily escape into the land of the Philistines. And Saul shall despair of me, to seek me any more in any coast of Israel, so shall I escape out of his hand. And David arose, and he passed over with the 600 men that were with him unto Achish the son of Moab, the king of Gath. And David dwelt with Achish at Gath, he and his men, every man with his household, even David with his 2 wives, Ahinoam the Jezreelitess, and Abigail the Carmelitess, Nabal's wife. And it was told Saul that David was fled to Gath, and he sought no more again for him. And David said unto Achish, If I have now found grace in thine eyes, let them give me a place in some town in the country, that I may dwell there. For why should thy servant dwell in the royal city with thee? Then Achish gave him Ziklag that day. Wherefore Ziklag pertaineth unto the kings of Judah unto this day. And the time that David dwelt in the country of the Philistines was a full year and 4 months. And David and his men went up and invaded the Geshurites and the Gezrites and the Amalekites. For those nations were of old the inhabitants of the land, as thou goest to Shur, even unto the land of Egypt. And David smote the land, and left neither man nor woman alive, and took away the sheep, and the oxen, and the asses, and the camels, and the apparel, and returned, and came to Achish. And Achish said, Whither have ye made a road today? And David said, Against the south of Judah, and against the south of the Jerahmeelites, and against the south of the Kenites. And David saved neither man nor woman alive, to bring tidings to Gath, saying, Lest they should tell on us, saying, So did David, and so will be his manner, all the while he dwelleth in the country of the Philistines. And Achish believed David, saying, He hath made his people Israel utterly to abhor him. Therefore he shall be my servant forever. Our prayer today is that you would seek the Lord and ask for forgiveness of your unbelief. Ask the Lord to remove the discouragement in your heart. Ask Him to restore you and to cause you to remember even the smallest of things that He has performed in your life. And then dwell on those things until your heart returns to a grateful attitude.